So we saw how to catch one exception, but what happens if we want to catch more than one exception? So let's make a new project, and we'll call this one CatchMultiple.py. And let's suppose that we're trying to do this. We're trying to say x equals, well, we already have this. We'll take this program, so we're getting our two numbers and running it. And so we'll run it the first time, and we put 5 and we put 0, and we get this zero division error. So as we explained, we can put a try block and an except, and we're going to catch this exception. And most likely this would make sense to be inside of a do another. So we'll put that in here too. We'll have a do another. We'll indent this one more. And we will get our do another question here. So we're catching one exception. And let's see, we put in 5. Oops. Have to type it into the right window. So we'll put in 5, put in 2, we get 2.5, we want to do another, put in 5, put in 0, and that's great. Second number can't be 0, and it allows us to continue on because it drops to the do another question and allows us to continue. We didn't have to stop the program. What if I put 5? Oh no. Well, now I've got a value error because I typed an FIVE and it couldn't convert that into a number. So up here, when we try to do this float operation, it couldn't make that work. So to catch a second exception, all we have to do is just add that. We're going to catch this value error here. We'll add one for value error. And now, if we put a reasonable response, it works. If we put FIVE, it says it must be a number. Do you want to do another? Yeah, I do. 5 and 0. Second number can't be 0, and it'll still keep going on. So we can actually catch multiple exceptions by doing this way. We can also do this. We can actually separate them by comma, and we can catch both of these. But if we do this, if we catch, put them in parentheses. So here we're catching both errors. Well, the problem is we don't know if it's a zero division error or value error. And so then you have to do something generic, error, you did something wrong. And if we run this, it will catch the error. but the user may not know what they did wrong. So catching multiple errors is usually not very desirable unless you're not going to communicate with the user. Now, one thing you can do is we can say catch that as E, and what that allows us to do, we can say error, and we can display E dot, we can display E, and if we run that, now if I put 5 and 0, error, float division by 0. Yes. I could say 5, error, could not convert string to float. So this does kind of allow you to pull things in and display a custom error, but they're usually not very satisfying errors for the user. Most users don't know what a string or float is. They just know numbers and text. So the problem with this is we are not going to get a great error message for a user. In fact, this process can work this way too. We could just catch all exceptions as E, and then if we run this, this will catch everything. And so we're getting just the generic error messages. I don't know if we can drive this error, but if we have one that's way too large, yeah, that was fine. Let's see if we can make something else happen. Okay, it was able to process all that. One of the problems with Python is it's hard to make an overflow error happen because it just kind of handles it. So, but again, if we just display error E, we get these generic error messages. So often what we would prefer to do is this. We say except we'll catch the zero division error, and then we will catch the value error, and this is usually what you want. You have your try block, and then you catch a zero division, you catch the errors which you know you're likely to get. And then at the very end, you have this generic exception which catches all exceptions. So this is actually pretty bulletproof. You're not going to, since catching the overall exception class will catch all exceptions, this will act as kind of a cleanup. If I didn't catch it over here, I'll catch it with this generic exception. And in these specific ones, I put in instructions to the user that make sense. So that's how we can catch multiple exceptions. Thank you very much.